Well, let's just add to Warner Brothers' misery, shall we? And it
Yes.
looks like they might be losing a partner in Legendary. You know, the people that helped make them a lot of money last year with the
Yep.
MonsterVerse. And Dune. Let's not forget about
Yep.
Dune as well, was a Legendary movie. It seems like Warner Brothers and Legendary might be parting ways, as Legendary, their contract I think is up maybe next year, and they're shopping around their options and supposedly are interested in working with Sony and Paramount. I know so many people are gonna hop on this again. Warner Brothers is in trouble. Zaslav is ruining the company. I think part of what's happening is factoring into Legendary's decision. They might not be happy with what's currently going on, but I think the bulk of the frustration, whether people want to admit it or not, has nothing to do with the current administration. It has
Mm-hmm.
everything to do with freaking idiot Jason Kilar and the previous administration. So Jason Kilar was the head of everything that made the executive decision without telling anyone, made the executive decision, hey, all of our Warner Brothers stuff that's coming out in 2021 is going to theaters and HBO Max the same day. And all the industry goes, screw you. No, especially Legendary, who financed most of Godzilla vs. Kong and Dune and was going to be severely hurt by this, actually took Warner Bros. To court. Um, I don't think the situation is completely lost. It's just a matter of, okay, this will be the first major test for Zaslav among,
Mm-hmm.
many others. Can he keep Legendary? He's supposed to be really great with relationships. Can he keep Legendary? Can he repair this relationship that I'm sure he hasn't helped so far, but the bulk of the issues were pre-existing? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think y'all realize how much damage Jason Clark did to the Warner Brothers brand. That I know the changes at Warner Brothers Discovery right now seem frustrating, and I get it. I don't like all of them either, but they're working double overtime to try and repair the damage. And I know it may not seem like it, and even some industry insiders are like, yeah, they're not helping much. The previous administration did so much damage that they are still trying to get the splinter out, so to speak, before it gets even more infected. And this is one of those of Kalar and everything else just screwed so much of Legendary.
Yeah.
But
Because
to be fair, Legendary has not always worked with Warner Brothers. They've worked with other companies
yeah.
before. So
Well, yeah. So like, it's not like them moving to go work with another studio is that big of a deal. I do think I agree with you on that. It definitely is. This is coming more from the way geez, WB screwed over Legendary Pictures over the pandemic. And because at first it was like straight up, yo, Dune and Kong versus Godzilla is going straight to streaming. We're not going to even put it in theaters. And to which it was like, hey, yo, can't do that. It's kind of a contract breach. That's you can't just do that. Hold up. And that's why Legendary eventually took them to court suing, and I believe they settled. I'm not 100% on that, but yeah, it to me it's coming more from there. And honestly, like, if your contract is up, and the past 2 years the company you've been working with has basically tried to throw you under the bus, yeah, I wouldn't want to work with them either. I mean, I understand that there's a new regime in place, but like, I don't fault Legendary for their hesitance. I do think Zaslav can potentially keep them, and that's partially just for me. I would love to have all of the Dune movies come out of the same studio, and like, yes, they're all going to come from Legendary, but I would love it to all be in one place. So if if HBO Max is still a thing, this time next year, I can all the Dune movies are there, or so you know what I mean. So I would prefer, obviously, if Legendary Pictures stay with Warner, but honestly, I don't blame them if they don't.
yeah, I think both Sony and Paramount are both in a much better situation currently than they were like even 2 or 3 years ago. Because Sony,
Yeah.
I was thinking about it today. Sony's had a pretty decent year this year. Uncharted over delivered for them at the box office. Say what you will about the quality of the movie, I don't think it's that bad, but it did well at the box office. Bullet Train is it's doing okay, not nearly as well as they're hoping, but it's making some money for them. And then, the catastrophic box office success that was Morbin Time. Like, that was such a high point for Sony this year. They'll never top that.
It still makes me laugh that the meme community memed Sony so hard that they're like, oh no, they actually like it. They're going to watch it again if we re-release it. And then nobody went and saw it. They're like, oh.
And then all the memes were like, sorry, Sony, we were busy that weekend. Do it again. We'll see it this time. We promise. But even Paramount's right now the top dog right now because of Top Gun Maverick and Tom Cruise going, see? I told you I'd single-handedly save the box offices. We're going, you are about to be totally insufferable, aren't you, Tom? Because you were right. Tom Cruise might have single-handedly saved Paramount this year with Top Gun Maverick. Like,
yeah, because that thing's still going, isn't it?
It's still, there's a very good chance, depending on how Spider-Man More Fun Edition does, it could be number one again. Because, like, Beast is under-delivering. Dragon Ball, I think everyone went out to see it that first weekend. Top Gun could get number one again in, like, its 10th or 11th week. It's like My Big Fat Greek Wedding all over again. Which, if you haven't heard,
what a movie to be compared to.
Seriously, y'all, if you have not heard about the box office of My Big Fat Greek Wedding, it's the most fascinating story. Look it up. Of like, there was like no drop off from week to week. It was the weirdest thing. I could see Legend going to either one of these.
Mm-hmm.
But this is interesting to say the least. I just won't completely rule it out yet that the divorce is happening. It's just going to be an uphill battle for Zaslav to retain them.
Yeah, no, I completely agree because it's because of the last 2 years of everything Warner has done, because of the last couple of months of what Warner and Discovery is doing. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of hesitancy from Legacy. And you know what? Maybe there's a big old grand plan that we're not aware of that, like, Zaslav's like, guys, don't worry, I got you. But, like, who knows? I guess let's have this same conversation this time next year, and we'll see what happens.